So let's talk creativity. Creativity. I already know what you're going to say. You're going to, first things out of your mouth, I'm not creative. Oh, but I'm not creative like you are, Laura. You know what? I hear this every day as soon as I bring up the word creativity. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about being artistic, right? I'm not talking about painting a perfect picture or even writing a song. All those can be really fun, right? I'm talking about how do you respond to life? Creativity, releasing your creativity, your creative expression is something that we're meant to do. And so part of that is how do you respond to life is how that's how your creativity expresses itself. You know, every day there's all sorts of challenges and opportunities coming your way. You might get a request for proposal, an RFP to present or to speak or to do a body of work. Or maybe you need to write an article for your business. There's some way that you need to tap into your creativity so that you can respond in a way that is soul deep, that is rich, that is real, that is engaging, that is authentic. So every day as a business owner, you have all these ways to express yourself in your business. All of this taps into your creativity. So that's the theme for today's show is how to start unlocking your creativity in your business. All right. So I'm Laura West. I am the host of your show today and the CEO of the Center for Joyful Business at joyfulbusiness.com. I'm also a creative mindset and business success coach. So for over 20 years, I have been helping conscious, sensitive, creative, whether you know you're creative or not, soulful and ambitious entrepreneurs who want to grow their soul work, right? They want to bring their soul work out into the world in a bigger way, making a difference while also making great money. And they also want a different way to run their business. They don't want to do manipulative, soul crushing strategies. Those are so out, right? Hustling out. What's in is aligning your energy from the inside and really calling in and intentionally working with grace, ease, creativity, fun, your intuition. All right. So before we begin, I want you to know that I deeply, deeply believe in you and that your ideas really matter. All right. Your passion projects matter. Your business matters. It makes a difference in this world. What I also know is that you're already designed to flourish, right? You have everything you need inside. It's just locked in there, right? So we need to release the possibilities so that you can truly step in. All right, so I hope that you will find this episode and some other episodes just this oasis of sanity to really help you how to unlock and release those possibilities. And we're going to start today by unlocking more of your creativity. But first, I want to say that if you are here live, this is the way it works. I will share for about 30 minutes on our topic today, and then I'm going to open it up to you, right? I'll turn off the recording after 30 minutes, and we'll talk about what your questions are, what's going on in your business, how you're expressing your creativity, or some ways that you could unlock your own creativity. All right. So today, let's talk about this whole unlocking your creativity, right? For deeper self-expression, for creative approaches to your content. You even need creativity to build up your resilience muscle, right? And how you respond and bounce back. That's a very creative endeavor. And of course, we're going to use creativity in how you market and share your soul work. All right. I would have to say that unlocking your creativity and your creative power, we'll talk about them, what's the difference? It's really at the core of everything that I do. I do believe that when you are a soulful entrepreneur and you're putting your soul work out into the world, right? You're living this conscious life, that the more you can own that you have creative power, right? You have your own creative personal power that you can use every day to consciously and intentionally create the life and the business that you want, right? That you're always you're always creating, whether or not you're conscious of it or not, right? But you can use this creative power to create your business and your life the way that you want it, right? I'm not saying that bad things aren't going to happen. I'm not saying that you're not going to have challenges. Actually, if we were always just enjoy all the time, we would kind of be in this state of sort of blissed out, you know, unconsciousness, and it might even get kind of boring, right? We actually need the healthy challenges and to respond in a healthy way so that we can grow, right? And the more that we grow, that's part of the creativity, right? It's part of you stepping into your creative power. To me, this is all part of the energetics of business that I talk about. So when you are expanding your business, growing your business, you've really made this commitment to grow to the next level. It's really easy to get caught in overwhelm, doubt, fear, second guessing. Second guessing is one of my favorite. Not my favorite, that's probably not the right word. One of my habitual places that I go. Make a decision and then I start second guessing. Getting better and better at that all the time, right? As I practice. So what happens, and that's key, right? Because these things are going to come up. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to have fear. You're going to have doubt. You're going to second guess. But you'll just end up reacting to whatever's in front of you, and usually that's done by fight, flight, freeze. Those are some of the common tendencies, habits that we tend to go to, those core reactions. But when you're developing your creativity and really owning that you have this creative power to intentionally respond, wow, that creates this little, did you even feel it? There's like this little pause, right? Instead of reacting, which is what we're taught, we have to react fast. It's like taking this little pause so that you can choose to respond, so that you can make a new decision, make a thoughtful decision, respond intentionally, tap into that well of creativity, and create something that you're really proud of, that you're excited about, that's going to open something up instead of closing things down. Now, here's something that I think is really fascinating, right? I love sharing this with my clients. So I want to share this with you. Studies have shown that when something happens in your day, right, everything that happens in your day, you have feelings and emotions about it, right? You love it, you don't like it, it brings you angst, it opens up and makes you feel enthusiastic. Well, when this happens, it actually happens in it triggers these emotions and feelings, actually trigger chemicals that activate your three brains. Yep, that's what I said, your three brains, right? So we know we have the brain in our head, right? But we also have a brain in our heart that sends out signals everywhere in our body, and we have a brain in our gut. So we have multiple brains, right? And these different brains communicate with each other. It's like there's central core places, right? They send out information to other places. And let me tell you a little bit about that. So our emotions, right, they really lead our biology, right? They have this profound effect. Your emotions can have an effect on your heart rhythms, right? We all know that. You speed up or slow down. On your brain chemistry, what chemicals get dumped into your system? When you're in intense anxiety, all that cortisol starts, either adrenaline starts popping in, and then the cortisol comes, and it's like you're kind of overwhelmed with this jitteriness, right? That's one way of it happening. Or you can get those wonderful endorphins when you're really aligned, right? And then it opens up opportunities. So we all know this on a pretty basic level, right? Stress kind of brings chaos. Positivity has a tendency to bring an openness, calmness, a steadiness, all right? So the brain in your head is the land of logical. It's also the land of creativity, right? All these creative ideas, they all happen in our heads. Sometimes we think they might happen in our heart, but it's like fun, right? It's fun to be creative and all the ideas are popping, right? Except when you're shut down, right? If you're shut down, then you can't think of solutions, right? You can't access that creativity. That's why we want to focus on opening up the creativity so that the ideas can flow. All right, your heart is the land of love and compassion, right? The land of your dreams. When you're shut down, you can't find access to your dreams or empathy for other people. But when you're really open and it's in flow, right, you feel connected to your own self-love, that your ideas matter, right, and love for others, right? How can you help others? How can you be generous? Open to the world of abundance. The third brain, the gut, right? The brain in your gut is the land of confidence and will and your identity, right? So when your gut is shut down, right? If it's really like, and we know that, right? Our gut gets really clenched, right? Um, it's hard to find your willpower, your confidence, or maybe your courage to take a step, to take a risk, to pick up the phone and call a potential client, right? When you feel open in your gut, right, in this gut center, that's where you have access to your self-will, your motivation, your self-authority that says my ideas matter and to move forward, right? You're connected to this positive identity of you as your Wonder Woman self, right? We all know what that feels like. Those days where we feel like Wonder Woman, I'm ready to go, right? I can handle anything and my creative ideas matter and I'm going to take steps forward. That's when your gut center is really activated. All right, so what we're talking about here, creativity, I wanted to give you a different approach to be thinking about creativity and how to start. What we're really doing is we're going to talk about some ways to open up your creativity, but we're going to do it by unlocking your three brains, right? All right. And what I also want to say is that every one of you is creative. You're already creating. It just shows up differently, right? I choose to bring flowers into my space, and that's something that's important to me. That's a creative act, right? You might put on some music. How you created breakfast this morning, or the dinner that you're planning for a holiday weekend, or a cookout or something. That's your way of expressing creativity. My dad, he would express his creativity in all sorts of ways. He would build hope, he always had passion projects. He would build hope chests. He had homing pigeons for a while. He had a daylily farm, over and over again, different times in our life. He always had these passion projects. Your creativity might show up through the way that you dress, right? I always like to wear something that makes me feel good, makes me feel fun and creative, right? Clothes can help you open up that creativity. That's a little bonus one. So what I want you to know is that we're creating every day, and you're creating every day in your business too. You're always drawing on your creativity. If you have to write an email, what is the creative way that you're going to share a solution with a client, right? Maybe you're going to create an article or a video or a TV show, right? Your podcast. You're always bringing in creative ideas, okay? You're sharing your perspectives, your thoughts, your worldview about a certain subject. Maybe you're creating packages, proposals, pricing, social media posts, you're posting in your Facebook group. All of these are acts of creativity that we're drawing on. And we know that at some level, right? Because sometimes we get in front of your Facebook group and you're like, oh, what do I post today? I don't know. I can't access my creativity, right? So we're going to talk about some of those ways that you can do that. So I'm going to share 7 different ways. All right, the first one is, these are 7 different ways to start unlocking your creativity. Simple. The first way, I just think this is a really brilliant, easy way to do it, is to change your environment, okay? We know how important environment is through the pandemic, right? So it's especially important to just change your environment up. So either that means looking at your current workspace and how can you change it up and make it more pretty, more beautiful, more efficient, more you. Or maybe you work in a different part of the house, right? Sometimes just moving, like I have this giant balcony in my apartment complex that overlooks this beautiful pool, and you get a glimpse of the marina with all these boats. I will go and work down there on that big balcony because we've got all these tables and chairs and swings and things, big porch swings. Every time I go down there, it just changes it up, right? I feel good. That really makes a difference. Maybe you work outside, right? I talk about my dad a lot in these episodes, but I lived with him for almost 2 years, a year and a half during COVID. And, he goes out to his garage, right? And he sits by his wood stove, or he sits on his porch swing, right? And as he's swinging or staring at the fire, like new ideas come, right? He finds access to creative ideas. You might take a drive. That's a great way to change your environment. Or go work in a co-working space or a coffee shop. That's one of my favorite things to do is what I call creative cafe time is, once a week at least, I try to get out, go to a cafe, and just the energy of it just changes my energy. Like there's people coming and going. I'll read something inspirational and then I'll start, either writing something or designing something or writing in my journal, and the ideas always start flowing, right? And it's almost like I open up this channel to more ideas. That's just the first way to unlock your creative power. All right, the second way, this is such a good way too, is to move your body. So often when we want a solution or an idea, we want our idea for our article, or we want, how am I going to create my membership program? We want to sit down and just have it come to us in front of the computer. I always say that inspiration happens outside the office, implementation happens inside the office. So if you're in the creative part, right, it starts outside. So one of the ways you can do that is by moving your body. Get away from your computer. Start moving your body, walking, running, yoga poses, dance moves. I do a lot of dance online classes. I do some online yoga classes. I haven't found my yoga place here yet. I get the best ideas when I'm walking. I try to walk every day, whether it's a slower walk, thoughtful walk along the boardwalk along the marina, or more of a workout walk when I'm on the trails. But you know what? That opens up the creative flow, is when you move your body, getting in touch with your body. All right, the third suggestion I have for unlocking creativity in your business is through meditation. This really helps ground you. It helps settle your mind in a way that opens up your flow and helps you find new solutions. Now, this might be a hardcore meditation practice, but nowadays there's so many easy ways to just be quiet for a little bit, right? You can do that as easily as sitting on the deck and watching for a hummingbird to come by or butterflies, or you can listen to a meditation. I love guided meditations. I find it hard to quiet my busy mind if I'm just sitting by myself. So there's so many great apps that I use. There's Insight Timer, the Calm app. There's just so many different, all you got to do is Google that. There's so many different meditation apps that can really help you access, lead you through a guided meditation or some quiet music, lead you through a process so that you can quiet your mind and just practice quieting your mind. Because when you practice quieting your mind, and actually what you're really doing, it's quieting your mind so that you can get used to letting go of thoughts. And this might seem the opposite of creativity. I want to talk about this for a minute, because creativity is like being a channel for ideas to come in and things like that. But if there's no room, there's no room at the end, the creativity is not going to be able to come in, right? And so, Elizabeth Gilbert talks about all these, in her book, Big Magic, talks about all these creative ideas are out there floating around in the zeitgeist, right? And that you might be the one that is going to channel in that idea, right? But if you're so full of too many things to do, you're in overwhelm, or you're in doubt, or you're feeling constricted and things are closed off, you're not going to be able to say yes to that idea. And that idea is just going to pass on and it'll go to somebody else. That's okay. There's unlimited ideas. However, at some point we want to land an idea, right? At some point you do want to be a channel for those ideas to come in and the solutions for whatever it is you're working on. And so meditation is a great way to cultivate being able to clear your mind, and being unattached to thoughts. And that when you can let go of things and surrender and let go and surrender and keep practicing that, then you're going to be in this open vessel for new ideas to come in. All right. Number 4 is to kind of the opposite, right? We need both, right? We need that calm groundedness and openness that happens through meditation. And then you also want the inspiration that happens with filling your well with new ideas. And that's number 4. So things like, I just love learning, right? Learning and looking for opportunities to grow. So reading a book, taking a class, listening to a podcast, a TV show, right? Interviews like this, or interviews like on my show, or just listening to some of the wisdom. Being in a community where you can talk about these ideas is hugely important. I just joined a new coaching mastermind the other day, and already just by plugging into this group, this community, I am so stimulated, right? The ideas are already flowing in about some programs to change and things that I want to work on that I've been a little stuck on for a couple of years. And now all of a sudden it's like, ooh, things are moving, right? Um, I always think that it's the best of both worlds is when you can walk and feel your well, right? So I love to walk. I have a park nearby, this great trail that's in Seashore State Park. Actually, it's not called that anymore. That's when I used to live here. They changed the name to First Landing. So several times a week, I will go for a walk. I'll listen to classes or podcasts and fill up with fresh perspectives and ideas, right? It's a great time to just kind of let these ideas come in and think about what it is that what do you think about these ideas, right? And to find your thoughts, your perspectives. That's opening up to the creativity. All right. The fifth strategy is to combine new environments with conversations, right? And the idea here is that you don't have to do it alone, okay? So, calling up a colleague, working with a coach, going to retreats. These are ways that you can get out of your environment, have new conversations, see new things, get stimulated in your life, which is going to stimulate new ideas in your business. So one of my favorite things to do is to go to retreats. So I am always looking for opportunities to go to retreats, to find, new people to have new conversations with and new places. This year, I've been sort of retreat bound, right? I think we all have during the pandemic. So as this has really opened up this year, I've got a lot of retreats on my agenda. So I've already gone to Costa Rica to a retreat in Asheville, North Carolina in the mountains. I'm getting ready in a couple weeks to go to a retreat in Guatemala. And then I've got another one set up for Yosemite later in the year as well. And I'm leading retreats, so I've got several retreats this fall. So to me, a retreat is an opportunity to get out of your daily life and really unlock the flow. When we talked about unlocking the flow in your head brain, your heart brain, your gut brain, that is what I do at my retreats, is really start unlocking so that you can be a channel for your intuition, for the creativity to come in, and you've got the gut center activated so that you'll take action on these ideas. So if all that sounds really interesting, I do want to put in a little invitation to come to my retreat. Let's talk about coming to my retreat. It's called the Creative Business Retreat by the Sea. I have it every October here on the coast, on the ocean front in Virginia Beach. And it's this beautiful house right on the ocean front. And we watch the sunrise. We see the dolphins play. It's so fun to see dolphins jump out of the water and hitting their fins on the water. Lots of times we get to see that. But mostly it's a place to go to set things down, and like we were talking about, and to set down the normal everyday worries, and to really be able to open up through conversation, through coaching, through creative activities. I really focus on finding ways that help you open up to your guidance and to the whispers of what wants to be created, what wants to happen next. All right. And that's always the theme that happens in our retreats. People figure out or allow usually the wisdom or the guidance of what wants to happen next in their business and their life. So if you're interested in that, you can go to joyfulbusiness.com/retreat. All right. So the fifth strategy is writing and journaling. And, if you're not into writing and journaling, go to one of the other strategies. That's okay. If you're a big journaler, keep on doing that and look for different ways of doing that, to keep it fresh. If you're new to this, I highly recommend, I'm going to recommend a couple things. So one is morning pages. These were created by Julia Cameron, and she is, her book is amazing. She has some very simple techniques for, one simple technique about how to write every morning, do your morning pages. And it's about writing 3 pages nonstop so you can get the stuff out of your brain, right? We talked about getting things, opening up, right? And that's morning pages. Writing in a journal is a great way to do that, is to just kind of write whatever's happening, going on in your brain, whatever's happening for 3 pages. And I tell you, it really like unclogs the drain in your brain, right? It gets that brain activated, right? The heart center activated. But usually you can't help, the more you do it, you start going into your heart energy, your heart center. So that starts opening up your love for your dreams, what's important in your life. And then, of course, you start, I swear, by page 3, my gut brain's activated, right? I get these ideas, they start coming in, and everything, it's like I've opened the flow and I can't wait to take action. Um, you can also write, one of my favorite things to do as well is to write and ask for help from your future self or your higher self or your muse, your creative muse, the universe, God. I often write to members of my wisdom council. So I'll talk about that on another episode about your wisdom council. Um, but you might converse with God or the universe. And so I'll write a question to the universe and say, hey, yo, dude. Actually, I don't call him dude. I believe the universe has a more feminine energy around love. And so I'm like, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Can you give me some guidance? What do you have for me today? And then I listen to the guidance from the universe. And she always has the best ideas, right? It's that she brings to life that still, small, wise voice inside. And then I will journal and have a correspondence. If you've ever read Conversations from God, anybody can do that, right? From Neil Donald Walsh, anybody can have access to that kind of wisdom. But I do believe in structures because sometimes it's hard to do on your own. So I have this really great free gift I want to share with you. You can go to joyfulbusiness.com, and when you scroll all the way down, you will see Activate Your Abundance. And that's a great place, a great toolkit for opening up your creativity, co-creating with the universe, and activating your abundance, which is a lot of what we're talking about today. There's a guided visualization so that you can connect to the universal abundance current. And you'll also get a 7-day journal so that you can write to the universe and co-create with the universe and get guidance each day. All right, number 6. Oh, I'm gonna have to hurry. We're getting finished here. All right, the 6th one is having a marketing idea journal, and I talk a lot about this with my clients. Is to practice deep listening with the conversations that are going on in your soul tribe, right? In your soul tribe community, and make notes of their dreams, their aspirations, their stuck places. That deep listening is a great place to access creativity and ideas that you can use every day. Speaking of every day, number 7, this is my last tip for today on unlocking your creativity, is to do something brave every day, right? Really activating that gut energy where you're taking action, right? You're moving forward with motivation. As you get clear about your intentions, you start opening up your ideas and energy, right? And it helps you with a new identity, right? With a new identity of who you are. So as you're stepping into this new identity, sometimes it happens, and what I mean by new identity is the woman who has a successful soul-led business, right? So as you're stepping into this new level of success, you want to take brave actions every day, courageous, brave actions every day. And they don't have to be big leaps. They can be sometimes, but that can be exhausting and frightening all the time, right? But lots of times it's taking baby steps, micro actions, right? Just to move forward and do something brave and courageous every day. All right. That's how you actually create a business. A sustainable, successful business is taking brave, courageous actions every day. It's not all about, let me do one big leap and dollar bills pour in from the ceiling, right? It's being brave and consistent every single day. All right, we're going to wrap up for today. So I really appreciate you being here and listening. Remember, you are designed to flourish. And you just need to create this optimal environment for that flourishing to take place, right? Just like a garden, right? You need to feed it and weed it, give it good sunlight, nice and water it. That's what happens in the Joyful Business community. So if this sounds really good to you, you like this approach, please go over and visit my brand new website at joyfulbusiness.com. There's some really great resources, some things that I mentioned to you today, information about the retreat, my membership program and things like that. So I would love to hear from you and hear what you think about today's episode. So you can always find me on Facebook, and you'll see my where I put things for my TV show, announcements for my TV show. And please let me know what you think about today's episode. All right, I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, bye everybody. Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are two powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.